Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Manny, in case you're new, or welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing a Notion tour, as you can tell from the title. I'm just going to give a quick little intro, but if you're not interested in watching, you can skip to this timestamp to go straight to my Notion tour. I hope you enjoy. So a little bit about my planning process, just so you know about like what I wanted in my Notion. I'm actually really not a digital planner at all. I've tried using like digital to-do lists and the reminders on my iPhone or whatever. It never works out. I always use like a bullet journal or like an Erin Condren, as I've mentioned before. But I think because Notion was so customizable and I could design it however I wanted, I think I'm gonna stick with it for a little bit. I recently started using Notion like 2 or 3 weeks ago, so I'm still working out like the minor details in my setup. I really didn't go that extravagant. I feel like I've seen so many Notion tours and they put in so much stuff, but I really kept it like to the bare bones and what I needed in a to-do list, and all of the other stuff like goal planning or whatever I keep in my planner in like a physical copy. So I think without further ado, we're gonna get to the Notion tour. I am very excited. Let's get to it. So as soon as you pull up at my Notion, this is exactly what you are going to see. This is my home page. As you can tell, I don't have a ton on the side just because I like to keep it very clear so that I have like what is important in my favorites, and that's about it. So I'm just going to show you my home page first, then we're going to go through all of the specific pages that I have. I just called this one the home page. I don't really know what else to call it, but I thought the little emoji thing was really cute. So this is my home page. As you can tell, I've kind of categorized it and separated it through the pictures that are on the screen. I kind of went for like a beige, white, cream aesthetic. I saw another Notion, I don't remember whose now, but it was kind of like this aesthetic as well. So I took pictures off of Pinterest of just like pictures that I thought were nice and put them into my Notion. The first category that we have is the daily page, and then we have learn. I have a work category and also just other. So the first thing that we're going to go through is my daily page. I'm actually going to start with the general tasks page before I go into my weekly page because this one's a little bit shorter. So when we have the general tasks, these are just basically tasks that I have to do each week that are non-repeating. I don't refer to this page a ton, but I thought it was nice to make when I first made my Notion. So as you can see, like on Mondays I do laundry, I upload my YouTube video for Wednesday. On Wednesdays I clean my bathroom. On Friday I vacuum my room and stuff like that. This is a really simple page. This was like one of the first pages that I made, so there's that. These are my general tasks. Back to the home page. Now I'm going to show you the weekly page, which is what I use to refer to like pretty much every day. So as you can see, the first part here is a weekly page template. So on the weekend when I'm planning out my next week, I will just duplicate this page and put it in the corresponding month. I have 2 so far, but I'm just going to show you the template just because there's some details here that I don't really want to share all over the internet. So this is the template. I kind of played around a lot with what I liked, what I wanted in a planner setup and like a weekly dashboard kind of thing, and this is kind of what I decided as like the best setup. So usually in this weekly page template title here, I'll just put in the days of the week that is spanning like that week just so I know, but for now I'm just going to keep it as weekly page template. I found this like cover photo somewhere on Pinterest or maybe on the Notion Reddit, just like for free download. I thought it was kind of cute. I love cacti, in case you can't tell already, and then I just have this little emoji that I change every week just depending on how I feel for the week. As you can see, this week it's a little duck. It was because I went on a walk this week and I saw a duck like in the river and I just thought it was really cute, so there's the duck emoji. So the first thing that we start off with the weekly page template is this week's top goals. So depending on the week, I think this week my top goals are like finishing my assignments for next week, having like a meeting for a club that I'm in and stuff like that. So just like anything that I want to focus on this week. It doesn't even have to be school related. It could be like I want to make sure my room is extra clean, I want to spend more time with family, anything that might work for you. I just thought it's nice to have a little focus of the week, and having it like right in front of you is also very nice. Then here I put in a little quote. I just usually Google one, and if I'm feeling like reflective that week, I will put a quote that matches what I feel. All right, so this next part is talking about this week's main events. So I will put in due dates that I have this week, like just important things. Like for example, I'll put in my comp sci midterm on Monday, or like on Thursday is you have to submit my work hours if that's something you have to do, or like on Friday I'll put like the Animal Crossing new release. Stuff like that, just things that I want to mark down and remember that are important when I'm referring to my to-do list. I also forgot to mention that when I'm setting up my weekly page for every week, I'll go into every single part that says Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and I'll put in the number of the date just so I know like what number it is in the month. Then my next setup is this week's to-do list. So as you can tell, I already have some to-do lists pre-made and pre-set up in the template, because these are the to-dos that I have to do like every week. They are repeating, so like laundry, uploading my YouTube video, stuff that was on my general tasks page earlier. It just makes it easier so I don't have to write it down every single week, and I also remember. And then depending on what tasks I have a little button to press add a new to-do, which I really like because it's better than doing the slash thing every single time. I feel like that takes up a lot of time. And same with this week's main events, I will put in the number of the date or whatever it is, depending on the week, just so I can keep track of what day of the week it is and what day of the month it is. This next part is kind of just applicable to me. I don't know if you guys do like content and stuff like that, but I am a manager for quite a few Instagrams, so I like to keep track of what I have to post on which day. So for my sorority, AO Pi, I manage the Instagram, and I also manage the Instagram for the Psychology Students Association for UBC. So in this case, I need to write down like what I need to post every single day of the week, just so I remember and I can keep track of if I posted it, if I have a caption created and stuff like that. So for this here, I have an example already here, but you can ignore that. But I'm gonna say I'm gonna post like, it's my birthday story, like our sorority does birthday stories for every single member, so I'm gonna put that in. Then the tags I have is either AOPI or Psychology Students Association, so I put AOPI. The status is what day I need to post it on, so let's say my birthday is tomorrow. It's not, but I'll just say that. And then the column is if I've posted it, if I have a caption created for the Instagram post, and if I haven't posted it, so I have in here. And that's kind of what I do to make sure that I know what I'm posting on a weekly basis. I usually refer to like schedules that are made by other people on Google Calendar or Google Docs or whatever, but it's nice to, at the beginning of the week, go through everything I need to post this week and put it in my Notion, because that's where I'm going to refer to it the most. These tables in Notion are actually quite cool because you can rename the like name, tag, status column, so it's totally like customizable to your life and whatever you might need that table for. After my content posting schedule, I actually have a section for next week's main events, so it's very similar to this week's main events part of my Notion, but I will put in next week's events because sometimes I need to remember like, oh, I have my marketing midterm on Monday or whatever I might have, like due dates and all this stuff, because it really like influences the way that I make my to-do list throughout the week, just because I have different schedules for every single day. So it's nice to know what is coming up in the next week, because I like to start assignments early as well so that I don't like get super stressed out. And if I can tell like next week is going to be super busy with midterms and stuff, then this week I'm going to work a little faster and harder on my assignments so that I can get them out of the way before next week. I hope that wasn't too confusing. The last section that I have is a brain dump, and this is basically just making lists of whatever I need. Sometimes I'll put in meeting minutes or just ideas that come up in my head that I think are really nice, and I'll just write them down and I can refer back to them when I look back at previous weekly pages. So that is kind of my weekly page template. This is kind of the page that I will refer to the most on a daily basis in Notion. As you can tell, every time I make a new weekly page, I'll favorite it in the left side just so I have a really quick way to access this week's page. Back to the home page, we are going to go into the Learn section, which I thought was kind of fun. The first page here is a 2021 book tracker, just because I want to track how many books I read this year and what types of books, if I like them and stuff like that. I did make it a New Year's resolution, or just kind of a goal, to read a book per month, and I've definitely reached it. I've read like 5 books in January already, so I am way ahead of the game. So I've been really into reading, so I really want to just be able to track what I read and just remember. So as you can tell, I made another little table. I have the title of the book that I read here. I have the author, the genre, like fiction, self-help, nonfiction, all this stuff, the date that I started reading it and the date that I finished reading it, and then a rating, just like a short little thing, just depending on how much I like the book. As you can tell, I've been really liking the books that I've been reading because I've been going through like book reviews on YouTube and also on Amazon and just like choosing what I thought I would like, and I really, really like it. I'm probably gonna make a book review YouTube video sometime soon, but that's my book tracker. The next page that I have is quite similar to the book tracker, but I have a TV show tracker. I don't watch as much TV at all anymore just because I don't have Netflix. I canceled it just to increase my productivity, but yeah, I just wanted to do the same thing with my TV shows and track them. As you can tell, I only have The Queen's Gambit. I started it at the beginning of this year and I've still only watched like 5 episodes just because I never have time. But I have the category, the date started, date finished, the rating, and the title and all this stuff, and eventually when I watch more TV shows, then I can add more. The next page that I have in my little learn category is recipes. And this is honestly just like keeping recipes that I see online and like the status and the link and stuff like that. It's very simple. I'm trying to cook more this year and trying to just learn more recipes, but I haven't really like fleshed this page out a ton, so this is quite simple. The next page is my meal planner, but I'm pretty sure I haven't fleshed this page out at all. I want to plan my meals just so I have like a grocery list at the end of the week to be able to refer to when I go grocery shopping, but I kind of just go with the flow with my meals and make somewhat similar meals every single week, so it's quite easy to shop for, but I kind of want to try doing this. It's just really hard. I haven't done it yet. So that is my little learn section. The next section that I'm going to be going over is work, and I'm only going to be going over the YouTube category. This one is just more of a personal work thing, and I don't really think it's applicable, so I'll be going over my YouTube stuff. So I have a main YouTube page here, and this links to different pages that I've made for YouTube, and then also just a little growth tracker to keep track of like subscriber growth throughout the year. The numbers aren't really important to me at all, but I think it's just nice to like remember and look back on how fast I've been growing. So the best thing, I guess, is this YouTube calendar that I have that I actually don't even update that often either because I need to. So as you can tell, this is kind of like the board view that I have created. It's like a template from Notion, but I'm actually gonna input this video just to show you how it works. So I have, the title of this video is going to be a Notion tour. My status is that I'm filming it, the type, it's a video, and publication date is going to be February 10th. Here, if I have more notes that I want to write, I will write down like, oh, I need to do this for the video and stuff like that. And then I'm just gonna save it. There's it is. I'll show you here. I have a how I take notes and study video that I'm working on, and I put in a ton of the shots that I wanted in the video just so I could keep track of what I've filmed and what I haven't filmed yet. So that's kind of how I use the notes section. But otherwise, this is kind of my YouTube tracker. I'll just put in like, if I'm editing the video, I'll put it here. If I'm just filming and stuff like that, it's quite self-explanatory, but I like this because it gives me like space to plan out my videos and also have like a little content calendar for my YouTube, so that's that. Going back to the main YouTube page, I also just have like a video ideas page that is here. I haven't had a ton of video ideas recently, honestly, so I've been kind of just stagnant with that, but that's kind of there if I have like a week where I have a ton of videos and stuff like that. And that's it for the YouTube section. I'm gonna go back to my home page. The last little thing that I have is in my other category, which is what I call the back burner. I kind of refer to this as like, you know, on a stove when you have like the 2 in the front and then the 2 in the back, like the little cooking things. So your back burner is basically just like things that are running in the back, but you don't really like want to put all your energy towards. So the main thing that is in my back burner is I want to start a podcast sometime in my life, and I really want to do this. So I've just been thinking about like episode ideas that I could talk about when I start a podcast, or like name ideas, but I don't have any right now. And this little image, this cover page, is from It's from a blog when I just searched up like Notion cover pages, I think, and it was like one of the first websites that came up. So that is pretty much almost all of my Notion. The bottom part here is just a little monthly view calendar. I don't use this a lot because first of all, I don't really know how to, but also I have the Apple computer that I use on my computer as well, so I don't need to use this a ton. I just use it to refer back to, and I think it's nice. The last little section that I have in my Notion is away from my home page. It's the travel section. So this is just because I've been, feeling a little cooped up because of quarantine and COVID, but I kind of made this just to inspire myself when I am allowed to travel again to go and travel. So I put in just some pictures. They're from Pinterest, I believe. And for all the places that I want to go, I make a page. My top right now is going to Japan because I've never been and I really want to go. So I'm just going to click that and show you. I haven't fleshed this out at all either, just because there's no really need to plan my itinerary because I'm not actually going yet, but this is just kind of like a brainstorm of things to do, and you have a little button to add in things to do, places to visit, and things to eat, and then at the bottom you can put in an itinerary. I haven't done it yet because I don't have an itinerary because I'm not actually going, but yeah. The right side is just pictures of Japan I found on Pinterest that I thought were really cute and added to the little vibe of this, but that's pretty much it. I want to add more pages for like places I want to go, like Greece, or I want to go back to France, and I want to go back to England and stuff like that. So eventually when I have the motivation and actual, I can actually travel, I will maybe do those, but that's that. Alright, that was my Notion. I hope you guys found it helpful. Maybe if you want to set up your own Notion, or you're just looking at other people's Notion setups, because that's what I did when I was setting mine up. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you give it a thumbs up if you did. Leave a comment down below if you have a question or anything, and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!
And I was like, yo.